Hey guys, ShadowRock here with a small update on Mega Man 11. Kellen Haney from Capcom has written up a post for the PlayStation blog that talks about Mega Man 11's new double gear system and a general overview of the two recently revealed robot masters, BlockMan and FuseMan, and their stages. Now most of this is information we already discussed in my previous update video, so before you shock yourself with the scrambled thunder of new information, ground yourself by getting the basics from my last video, which will be in the description below. For this video then, I'm going to focus on the additional little nuggets of information Kellen mentions in his post, which isn't a whole lot, but it does help to paint a better picture of how Mega Man 11 works. It's confirmed that the double gear system will be available from the start of the game. Whether he means there will be an intro stage to introduce the mechanic, or you'll be kicked to the stage select screen right after the first cutscene is unclear. Speaking of that first cutscene though, here's a screenshot I felt was worth showing, where Dr. Wily pays Dr. Light's lab a visit in person, or rather in UFO, to deliver a message. Otto cowers in fear, while Dr. Light and Rock take up practically the same fighting pose. Aww, like father like son I guess. I also like how Rock grabs the nearest mop lying around like he's gonna fend off Dr. Wily with it. Anyway, he goes on to give a tip for players using the double gear system. While you can turn the gears on and off whenever you want with the shoulder buttons, you can only use one of them at a time. Overuse will cause Mega Man to overheat, preventing him from using either gear until he's cooled down a bit. Like we talked about before, the speed gear essentially slows down the world around you, and the power gear allows you to rapidly unleash overcharged buster shots. In addition, he mentions that while the power gear is active, you can double charge the Mega Buster to fire two huge blasts at once for massive damage. This immediately reminds me of the double charge shot mechanic first introduced in Mega Man X2. So I guess in the grand scheme of the Mega Man timeline, the double gears explains where Dr. Light got this idea for X. We also now have a name for Mega Man's emergency ability that I previously referred to as the overdrive mode. Instead, it's known as the double gear technique. Well, that's simple. We talked about before how the double gear technique utilizes both the gear's powers and allows Mega Man to unleash a massive powerful shot. What we didn't know before though is the fact that once the double gear technique is activated, there is no turning it off. So once you committed to this emergency ability, there is no going back, and you will have to suffer the consequences once it has worn off. That being leaving Mega Man with only one hit point left and unable to charge his buster until he is completely cooled down. Now talking about the Robot Masters themselves, Kellen describes BlockMan as a pretty self-centered guy, even plastering his face on the walls everywhere in his level in the form of hieroglyphics. Which, speaking of, I believe the electric symbols here alludes to FuseMan's weapon being BlockMan's weakness. That is just a theory though. And hey, on the topic of special weapons, we got names for them now. BlockMan's weapon is known as a Block Dropper. It calls down bricks from the sky, and with the use of the power gear, the blocks rain down on your foes is increased. Then you have FuseMan's weapon, which is called the Scrambled Thunder. An electric attack that can be fired up or down and zips along floors, walls, and ceilings. Activating the power gear increases the size of the attack and allows it to pass through enemies. So not only does the power gear overcharges the Mega Buster, but the special weapons too. This may as well be another precursor to the Mega Man X series, where a standard function of the arm upgrade allowed you to charge up your special weapons for more powerful attacks. Maybe we'll finally get some kind of X tie-in in this game? Probably not. But there is that mysterious Mega Man Star Force reference that hasn't seen the light of day since that Game Informer issue, that could potentially lead to more crossovers. To finish things off, this is a good time to mention that if you pre-order Mega Man 11 digitally on the PlayStation Store, you get this unique Mega Man 30th Anniversary theme, which we have footage of here. It features a remix of Dr. Wily's Stage 1's theme from Mega Man 2, and a 3D Dr. Light's lab. The first thing I thought of when I saw this was the Pac-Man Museum games on PlayStation 1 that allowed you to explore some 3D rooms based on the featured games before you played them at an arcade cabinet. So in that way, this theme definitely tickles my nostalgia for the old PS1 era with the low poly 3D models, so I can appreciate it. That's all we have for this video then, but first, some housekeeping. In case you haven't noticed, some of the footage used in this video actually belongs to GameXplain, who has been gracious enough to give me permission to use it. I was told that it's technically B-roll footage provided by Capcom, but nevertheless, I encourage you to check out GameXplain's YouTube channel using the links in the description below. By the way, myself and Ash Paulson from GameXplain are planning to have a discussion real soon about his hands-on time playing Mega Man 11. And I've already put out the call for you guys to post questions you might want me to ask him about the game. You can do that in my post in the community tab, or for convenience sake, you can put them right here on this video's comments too. So go ahead and ask away, and your question might be answered by Ash in our video. Thank you so much for watching, and for more on Mega Man 11 and everything else Mega, stay tuned to ShadowRockZX. Until next time, rock on.